Usually when you imagine a theme park, you think of a safe place to have fun, ride on roller coasters, eat expensive food, and all that kind of stuff. But not in this book right here. Here in this book, you win a trip to a theme park where all the rides and all the animatronics are trying to kill you, including a mad scientist with a huge bomb collection. On this channel, I've talked a lot about choose your own adventure books. I love them a lot. I've done 2 videos so far talking about different ones, and this one right here is another one that I like. It is one of my favorite ones in the series, and it is Daredevil Park. Now this one is a lot different from the other ones because this one is a later one in the series. It is number 114. And if you guys don't know, like the later ones in the series, they started having less and less endings. Okay, so this one has 11 endings, and that is a lot less from the other one we talked about, which was Deadwood City. That one had like 30 something endings. This one only has 11. So the paths go on for a lot longer, and you have to read a lot more pages before you make a choice. I love the setting of theme parks and roller coasters, and this one just feels different than all the other ones, okay? A lot of the other books are pretty like wacky, weird, stuff like that. This one just feels like a horror movie. It is surprisingly very, very dark, okay? So the basic concept of this book is that you are a kid and you win a contest to this place called Daredevil Park. It is a brand new theme park that is opening up. You and a few other kids win a trip there, so you get to see it before it opens. You get to ride the rides first. You get to see everything. Brand new park. And you may think, oh, this is amazing, but everything goes wrong in the story. Literally everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And since this book only has 11 endings, I am going to talk about each of the endings, give my opinion on them. When you start, the first ending is actually probably my least favorite one of all of them, okay? Because, you know, you start this book out, you're sick in your bed, you see an ad for Daredevil Park, it's like, oh, call this number at this time, you'll win the contest. You win the contest. You get on a plane, you're flying out there, okay? You go there, they're like, you get this speech from the owners of the park. You're like, guys, this park is going to be the most technological advanced park ever. They're like, dude, this park is going to make us so much money. They're like, we spent so much time. And you're like, oh my goodness. And then for the first choice, what you can do, first choice in the book, is you can either choose, hey, do you want to go with some other kids and explore, go to the pool and stuff like that? Or do you just want to go chill in your hotel room until dinner time? Now, if you choose to be a little baby, little wimp, and decide, oh, I'm just going to go chill in my hotel room, you may be thinking, oh, nothing could possibly happen. No, you die. You literally die, dude. So the first ending is, you go into your hotel room, you're chilling, you know, and you're like, oh, I want to play video games. And since this book was released back in the 90s, you know, it's like, oh, they had a TV on a cart, you wheel it in there, and you're playing video games while you're in the bathtub. You slip, you knock over the TV, it falls into the bath, you get electrocuted, and you die. I'm not joking. What a crazy ending to have in a freaking kids book, dude. And I feel like this ending is the biggest cop-out ending. Because it's like, okay, why would you have them why would you have us make a choice to either go to the pool or go to the hotel room when you're just going to have an ending 4 pages in? Why not just not have that ending and have something else happen, okay? Feels like they needed to have a choice and they're like, oh, we can't come up with any ideas. We'll just have you. It just comes out of nowhere. It's so random. I don't really like it. So if you choose the other one, which is go to the pool, you go to the pool, you're hanging out, and you were talking to this kid, you know, and this kid's like, oh, blah, 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 you know, he's talking, and then he sneaks into the park. He sneaks into the park early. I think you can make a choice to follow him, okay? So you can either make a choice to follow him or stay in there, and if you stay in there, dude, you know, you stay in the pool chilling. There's this funny part, dude. Bro is like, this kid drives a buggy. He drives it out of the park gate, and he crashes, dude. And And then they're like, you gotta go home, bro. Like, no, you can't drive a buggy. I'm like, bro, you're telling me y'all didn't have security in there to like watch over this kid. You're telling me this kid just walked in there, grabbed the buggy, was able to drive off with it. Like, do you guys not have, like, you built this highly technologically advanced park with everything on it. You didn't spare no expense. And you're like, actually, we're not going to hire any security guards. Like, come on, guys. But if you decide, oh, I'm going to go with this kid in there. You guys go around, you sneak in there, and then you go to this one ride. It's a giant, like, spinning, I think it, like, goes up in the air and it, like, spins. I don't exactly know what the ride is called, okay? But you guys, there's no one around you, mind you. There's no control operator around. You're like, oh, why don't we get onto the ride, take this remote thing, and start the ride ourselves, okay? First of all, yeah, why is it just, like, why is the remote just, like, out there? Really, these people are so dumb. The people who run this park are actually complete idiots. So you get on this ride, okay? You start going, and then you realize, oh crap, it's going too fast, guys. We gotta, like, go off. You lose the remote or something. And you can make a choice. You're like, okay, do we go for the remote, or do we just not go for the remote? And you're thinking, oh, you should probably go for the remote. That's the thing to do. No, you die. You die again. This is a Saw movie. This is literally Saw, dude. If you try to go for the remote, you literally slip out of your restraints, you fall down, and you die. Like, dude, the endings are so violent, dude. If you pick the other one, the next ending, if you pick the other one, just not go for it, you literally get stuck on this ride for hours spinning, you pass out, someone finally sees you, dude. And then, like, your legs are like jello and you get rescued, okay? Like, this theme park needs to be investigated. This theme park needs to be investigated. Daredevil Park, it should be called, like, Death Park or something like that, dude. Because you're telling me that they just have these rides, like, unsupervised, when they know kids are there. They know that kids are there, okay? Do you guys know kids? Like, bro, they are going to find some way. If they are left unsupervised, they are going to find some way to just ruin everything. This whole book is literally insane because, like I said before, oh, you can sneak into the park. Or you can also just be a baby, not sneak into the park, go to dinner. But even dinner is deadly, dude, because they, like, take you to this ship. Dude, it's, like, supposed to be this jungle cruise kind of ship thing. And you're on it, and, like, it looks like it's, like, crashing or something. You're like, holy crap. Or it's like, oh, you should, like, I don't know, something's happening, dude. And one of the choices you can make is like, oh, should we go off to investigate, or should we stay there? And if you stay with, like, Leslie or something, and if you stay with this girl, you die. You die again. Okay? Because they say at this park, they're like, okay, guys, we have the most advanced holographic technology. So they're like, oh, a lot of the stuff that seems real isn't actually real. Like, there's a ski ride, and you're like, you feel this force and everything. You think you're in danger, but, like, actually, it's not real. So you're on this boat. You're on this, like, jungle cruise thing. You think it's sinking. You think you're gonna drown or anything. They're like, okay, we're gonna jump into the water. You jump in the water. Actually, the water's not real. So you just faceplant onto the concrete and you die. Like, how did someone look at this and think this is safe, man? How? Like, when they were building this, they didn't think, I don't know about this, guys. Like, where's the supervision? Like I said before, where is the supervision, bro? Do they not? They don't care, bro. This is like if Jigsaw opened up a theme park. So the next ending in this book is you escape from somewhere. I forget what it is, but, like, you escape and you're running, okay? You go into this jungle exhibit, this safari exhibit. You're running around and you see a leopard. And you're like, oh crap, man. And you don't know, you're like, okay, so this park has these, like, crazy realistic animatronics, but it also has some real animals too. So you're like, I don't know, man. Is this leopard real, or is this leopard fake? And you're like, crap, dude. And you're like, and if you pick this choice, you're like, okay, it's fake. You just ignore it. You go along your merry little way. And you may be thinking to yourself, oh, okay, so since it was fake, I'll probably be a happy ending. No, you get hit by a car. Like, there is, like, a buggy or something just coming at you. It doesn't see you. It hits you when you die. Who is just driving something and they don't pay attention, dude. You're telling me is this kid so short they just can't even freaking see it, man? Like, come on, dude. Next one, if you choose the other option, if you're like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend that this leopard is real. You're standing there, you're scared, you're cowering in fear, okay? And then an employee comes and he's like, yo, bro, don't worry about that. That's not real. That ain't real. These are all robots. And you're like, oh, okay, man. You chill out a little bit, and then he takes you back. You get back to your group, okay? So it's a happy ending. So ending number 7. Now I remember this one, okay? Because in this story there is an evil scientist. Yes, there is an evil scientist named Dr. Bach, who is, and you may be wondering to yourself, why does this park have a scientist? Well, they didn't know he was evil, okay? Because he helped design the rides, but I forget exactly what happened. But he's angry about something, and he's like, oh, they said my ideas were too dangerous. Okay, first of all, so you're telling me that you see the park is already dangerous. You're telling me that even his ideas were so dangerous and so crazy that even Daredevil Park was like, nah, bro, we can't do this. Like, what was bro cooking? What was he cooking up in his head? So this scientist guy is mad, okay? And in this ending, you run away from him. You're able to run away from him. You go into this haunted house and you hide in this coffin. But the bad thing is, you get locked inside because there's an animatronic vampire. He goes out, you go in the coffin, it closes, you're trapped in there. And guess what happens? Well, this one's actually a good one. You actually don't die in this ending. You actually just, like, stay in there for a few hours, and then someone finally finds you. I'm so happy, dude. I thought this one was just gonna be like, you stay in there, you stay in the coffin forever, and you die. Another ending number 8, you actually do end up, you're running away from the evil scientist guy, Dr. Bach, you know, which I don't even know what kind of name that is. That's a goofy-ass name. You're running away from him, and guess what happens? You trip, you fall into the river, and you die. Ending number 9 is a pretty cool one, because you trick our boy, Dr. Bach, okay? Because what I remember correctly is you are in his office. You are in his lair. He's talking to you about his evil plans. Bro's like, I ain't letting you go, man. And you're like, okay, well, actually, you're like, what if I call the press, and the press come here, and then we could give you an interview, and you could talk about everything. And you know, since Dr. Bach has, like, an ego, and, you know, he just likes to, he loves himself so much. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the world. He's like, oh, yes, I love the press. I want them to come here. And, you know, they sneak onto the park for some reason. I don't know how, but it doesn't really matter. They come in there, they're interviewing him, and they turn out to be cops. Boom! And they arrest this man. I actually just remembered something. I do remember in the book that I think Dr. Bach talking about, like, twins or something. So I think he's actually a twin. So maybe that's why they didn't catch him. There's another section of the book where you are not so lucky, and you are not able to outrun Mr. Bach. And he puts you on his car, and you're driving. And you're sitting there. And you're thinking to yourself, man, what should I do? Should I stay on this car? Or should I be an action hero? Should I go all Fast and Furious style and jump off this car? This next ending is what happens if you choose to jump off the car. What do you think happens? It starts with a D. That's right. You die. You want to know why you die? Okay, because you try to jump off. Dr. Bach's like, hell no, you ain't doing that. He grabs you, knock him out. The car's still driving. You don't know how to drive because you're a kid. You don't have your license. You crash into a tree, and you die. Now, luckily, the last ending is actually a good one. You don't die. You stay in the car. You drive to this location. You are able to defeat Dr. Bach by using your art of misdirection. Take the gun from him, put it at him. You thread him. You're like, hey, go on this Ferris wheel, spin around super fast. And while he's distracted, you call the cops. The cops come. They snatch him. They get him. Okay? The art in this book is killer. Look at this art. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Look at that. And also, you get to ride some crazy roller coasters. You get to ride like this ski ride, this intense ski ride. You get to ride this giant roller coaster. You get to go through this spooky mansion. There's so many interesting settings and stuff to this book. This book overall, very good, top-notch quality. Real goated. Read this now.